Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I will be playing in the Chieftain Mk6. This is a Tier 10 British Collector Heavy, a vehicle that has been absolutely buffed in the latest update of the game. See, I was quite sad that Wargaming was removing the original gun on the Chieftain, and I am still a little sad that they didn't just give us a second gun option for the tank, which is what they should have done. But there's been a lot of people complaining that they ruined the tank, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what you're saying, bruh. The Chieftain might be one of the most overpowered tanks after the changes. Why? Well, the vehicle features 275 mils of standard pen, which is pretty good. 400 damage per shot, 3000 DPM. It's a pretty solid standard round. The Hesh has 216 mils of pen and does 470 damage per shot. And this is where it becomes really nasty. The Chieftain gets tungsten. Oh, and it also gets gear oil, meaning that this vehicle can achieve a really good top speed. I think it's 42 base. Yeah, so the Chieftain now can go 46 kilometers per hour with a great power to weight ratio. It has Hesh, it's incredibly accurate, and tungsten. What the heck? This vehicle is insane, and I've only played a few games in it, but, well, I'm going to do one live battle, and then I'm going to showcase one of the replays I had in it earlier today, and you're going to see just why the Chieftain is insane. I mean, the vehicle's gun is ridiculously good. So, hopefully we'll get into a game fairly soon here. Okay, we are on Himmelsdorf, which is an okay map. It's not my favorite, but it's fine for the Chieftain. We should be able to get out some good old bleeds this game as long as our team supports us. So let's find out. We got the 60 TP over here, and he is going wide. I don't per se want to go wide, but we'll just cut through, and we should be okay. 57 heavy, E4. I mean, they got some dangerous tanks. We're going to push all the way up here. And there you go. We got the enemy. Yo, who needs to aim? Apparently I do. You'll notice, by the way, while this tank does have that really good mobility, it's not anything insane in terms of, like, acceleration. So, still takes a bit of time. Also, my sensitivity... I don't know why. My sense feels off. I guess not. Okay, well, our T92 is doing a rather weird play. And their Yo went AFK. So if he's going to go AFK, I will fully take advantage of that. We get one shell into his tank. And we get 2 shells into his tank. We're going to face hug him so that he has a hard time cutting through my vehicle. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Well, nothing, because you're dead. Well, we got the Contracara who misses me. And... ooh, look at that. We get another tungsten shell out into his Tonkaroonie, and I don't think he enjoyed our vehicle's gun at all there. The T95 bonks the Contracara. We have the 57 heavy in the back, and, well, not anymore. 57 gets 1 shell into my tank, but nothing I really need to worry about. So what are we going to do here? Well, 57 is obviously a threat, but not a threat that I am personally too scared of. We're going to aim it on his tank, just like so, and... okay, let's back up. 57 heavy has really bad reverse speed. I don't even want to shoot at the 57. I want to shoot at the, okay. I want to shoot at the VZ, but no, that's not allowed. Alright, let's push the VZ. This is where that 500 damage might come out. Ooh, 480. That's still pretty juicy. We're going to load in a standard HE and 515. Well, we're not able to get the 515, and that was a terrible roll. But doesn't really make too much of a change. We are still doing fine. The enemy is still getting bled, and he's dead. Alright, let's move over towards the enemy 57 heavy, who is right over here. He gets bonked by the T95, fires 1 shell. We're going to load in a Hesh. What? Okay. Well, sometimes this game gives me terrible levels of RNG, and there's nothing you can really do about bad RNG, is there? But what we can do is load in a max rolling 588 damage high explosive shell, and even with this absolute steamroll of a battle, deal a pretty impressive 3,000 damage. I mean, this game was literally a steamroll and a half, but there you go. 3,000 easy damage dealt. Not really much effort needed to be put in. You can start to see why the Hesh on this tank is quite impressive. I mean, 3,600, and that could have gone a lot better. I could have done a lot more damage, That was just such a short game, too. So as I said, I've got some replays that I saved in my Chieftain. I only have one. Well, I have 2 games. So we'll take a look at this Mines game first, right? This is a 2-minute and 20-second battle in the Chieftain on Mines. And you're going to see just how incredible the level of pen, the level of output damage this thing can deal. It is insane. So the T100 makes it up the hill. And I am going to use my gear oil and tungsten to make my way quickly into the front line. We have the Vickers, and I'm going to fire a Hesh on his tank. Hopefully it pens. I guess we'll have to find out. Okay, well, now we reload, and we're going to aim it on the Object 260. We aim in a AP shell. I honestly did not realize I had Hesh not loaded there. So I kind of messed that one up myself, but doesn't really make a difference. We're going to aim it on the Caro, and look at that, 547 with tungsten. That is insane. And we still have 3 seconds left on our reload, so we aim it on the lower plate of the 260, 533. Just like that, I've been able to deal 1,500 damage to the enemy. And that's without even counting the fact that we also hit that Vickers. So now we're going to maneuver over towards the VK90. And because this tank has really good standard pen, I easily butter right through that VK90's lower plate. So we're going to reload again. We're going to aim it on this vehicle. I don't really care if he pens me, to be honest. But he doesn't even get the shell out. So we're now up to 2,300 damage. VK90's dead. And now we're going to turn and start aiming in on the enemy Chieftain. Or not Chieftain, Minnow. My brain's a little frazzled. So we aim it on the Minnow. 552. 2,800 damage has now been dealt, and we reload again. Well, let's see. Unfortunately, we do not get a high explosive into the enemy Minnow, but it doesn't really matter. All that's left are 2 tanks, the Object 260 and the Hori. So the 260 shoots me. I'm going to aim it on his lower plate. 588. What the heck? This thing is ridiculous. Well, he's dead, and all that's left is the Hori now. So let's see if we can get one penetrating shell into the Hori. Yeah, honestly, the Chieftain might be the strongest tier 10. There are a lot of strong tier 10s right now, but there you go, 460 damage into his tank. That puts us over 4,000 dealt in this game. And the question of the day, did we hit our blind shot on the enemy Vickers Light? Well, we're going to see. Victory. Yeah, that was a victory and a half. That was just farming heaven. Yeah, we did hit that shot on the Vickers. We did 4,600 damage, and our high explosive shell fired at his vehicle ended up dealing 515. So there's one game, and then we had one other game I started in the Chieftain. I don't even remember what happened in this game, but it was a decent game, and, oh, sorry about that. I need to make it so that my live stream pop-ups changed. I changed my recording software from Streamlabs OBS to OBS because I've been having a lot of problems with OBS. Or Streamlabs. It's been screwing up my recordings, as you guys have duly noted on many of my videos. So it seems like it's working quite a bit better with just normal OBS, and that's what I'm going to be sticking with. So here we are. And where am I going to go? Well, I am going to position my tank into the front line. And we're going to see if any enemy players make some mistake-a-roonies. So, we chill and we wait. The thing that I'm really happy about with the Chieftain is that the gun is actually pretty accurate. I was really disappointed when I saw that they were nerfing its aiming time, but they decided to leave the base dispersion the same. And what that means is that the gun on this vehicle still feels really good. And the DPM is also basically the exact same. So all they did was take away the gold ammo and give a Hesh. And while I was disappointed at first glance, honestly, I like the Chieftain right now. As I said, I would have been happy if they'd given it both gun options. That way both parties could have been happy. But I have no complaints about this tank. Look at this. We activate. Look at that. 588. Now, I was kind of a doofus here. This was my first game I played in the tank after the changes, and I forgot that it obviously featured tungsten. So I was just firing basically on a bad way of firing my tungsten. But I guess it didn't really matter. We maxed our one shot, and we penned an AP into the other one, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. We have the E100 in front, so we're going to roll around and aim it on his lower plate. There you go, 397 damage. We back up. We're already up to 2,600 again. I mean, the damage output of this vehicle is crazy good. So, we get a nice shell into the lower plate. Felipe is no longer. And now we're up to 2,800. Okay, well, the enemy team has 4 vehicles left. And there you go. The Chieftain's getting bled out. What are we going to do? We see the IS-4 is all the way in the back. We're going to aim it on his tank. Aiming, aiming. I could have fired HE. but it wasn't worth it. However, my toonmate gets a freaking wildfire into his vehicle, which is kind of huge, but that's alright. We'll aim in a high explosive shell into the side of the 30B and get a 480 roll. Thank you. Okay, well, the 30B is still giving us his frontal armor, so we're going to load in another high explosive shell. Chunk. 454. Alrighty, well, there you go. That is 4,147 dealt. Here's the thing that I find kind of funny. Why would you ever drive a 2 and 5B when the Chieftain exists now? Like, the 2 and 5B has less gun depression, less armor, and less mobility than the Chieftain. And not only that, but this gun has more Hesh penetration, although I guess there is one big advantage for the 2 and 5B, and that is it still has premium. So I guess the 2 and 5B does have some differences, but man, this tank is just insane. It really is. I was hoping I could get some extra damage into the C6, and we do, but my teammate obviously gets him right before that. But still, that was a pretty solid game. 4,800 damage dealt, and without even an ounce of effort put in. This gun is incredible. I have to say this is one of the most enjoyable tanks I've played in a while. We aced the tank in this game, earned over 200,000 credits, just absolutely crazy stuff. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Chieftain Mk6. But I can tell you for a fact that this is a beast. This is a tank that you want to get your hands on. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.